All right, well, thanks, guys. I'd just like to call the meeting to order. So moved by Donna and second by Dave. That the meeting for the Emergency Services Committee meeting be open at 6:01. All in favor? Aye. Carried. And just the adoption of the agenda, so moved by Dave and second by Donna. That the agenda for the Emergency Services Committee meeting for June 17th, 2024 be approved as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Hearing none. Adoption of the previous minutes, so moved by Dave and second by Donna, that the minutes of the Emergency Services Committee meeting held May 27th, 2024 be adopted as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Any presentations or delegations? None. All right, so 6, staff reports. So, Mr. Searson is not here. And there's a few things that he was to speak on tonight as well. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So what should we defer here?
That'll be the receive and review the updated fire department assessment.
But
That's on number 7.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. Everything else we can discuss.
Yeah.
Okay, so 6.8, report from Deputy Fire Chief regarding recent call reports.
So I'll probably just bang off everything in there.
Sure.
ABC and E.
Yeah.
So we're still holding strong at 19 responders. We still have 3 on leave. From our last meeting, May 27th to current, we've had 5 alarms, 2 medicals, 2 hydro lines on trees, and then 1 grass fire. Which brings our count to 34 911s to date. So that's where we stand there. For recent training, we're still, actually we've shifted training to pumper operations. Making sure everybody knows how to run the pumps again. It's just a refresher, and for the new recruits, many different evolutions they got to do for that. And then kind of ties in with meeting or items in the committee discussion is we are doing the opportunity for the live burn. That's happening on Wednesday. So we've shifted our training night from tonight, and we're training now on Wednesday from 6 to 9 in North Bay. We will have 2 apparatuses of our own out there, plus our gear, plus everything as per the requirement. I do have a lesson breakdown. We can talk about that later. I'll finish my report. For the months we did the community day, we did the fire prevention. We had a fire prevention table. We had goodie bags. We were talking to people. We give stuff away, and it was a really good response. Wasn't as much traffic as it was last year, but we still had really good response from the fire department, and we got to speak to a lot of people. We did do a fire extinguisher training. Wasn't as hot as I thought it would be, but we still had a couple people go through, and we taught them about fire extinguishers, and we had a digital unit for them to actually practice on and play with. So it was good. We got a couple kids in there, and it was fun. We had fun. As for public relations in the month, the only thing we've done so far with PR is we watered the rink for the Bonfield Barrel Derby that just took place last weekend. So they asked us to water the rink to keep the dust down. And we obliged. It's a good PR for us to get out and have the trucks driving around. So that was that for that. For upcoming, we've got Canada Day. That's upcoming. So far, I do have a standby medical presence on the grounds of whatever the township is putting on. I wasn't sure if there was going to be a parade this year. So we're still up for debate on that one. If I got enough guys. If I am still waiting on some more availability for Canada Day, we're hoping to have an education booth for fire prevention. Plus, we want to introduce a Fire Smart program. Fire Smart program is a new program that Ontario has been putting forward for the last couple of years. And the last mutual aid, I attended the last mutual aid a couple of weeks ago, and there was a guy from the MNRF there. He started talking about it. We got some information. Got one of my guys set up for the online training, so we did the online training, he's ready to, wants to kind of. Take hold as far as my program.
Is that campfire related or like in your house?
No, that is in your house.
Yeah.
It talks about the survivability of your house surviving wildland fire. It's gonna pertain more towards houses in the hamlet. It's gonna really hit them home really good. But even in rural properties, it'll be a good program to start working on your house. It's basically like cleaning up the fuels around and the pine needles and whatnot, and how to break your house into different zones of survivability if a wetland fire turn the wrong way. It's a really good program. They're actually putting out a lot of funding for it for the citizens. They're allowed to apply for a $500 grant, and yeah, it's pretty good. Ontario's stepping up.
Can I ask, the hydroline calls, what do you do with them?
Hydro lines, basically, if they're not on fire, we clear the scene because there's no threat and there's no danger for the fire department to be there. Normally, when there's no fire, generally the power line has already been knocked out, so there is no live wires. If there is smoking, smoldering, or any sort of threat, and we detect that there is still hydro presence, we will guard the road. We generally keep our distance away from that pole on fire until hydro arrives. They shut it down and then we assess the scene
Okay,
once we hear.
so you go, you really do, your
Yeah.
assessment?
Yeah,
and-
we absolutely.
Sure. And were these two live wires? or-
They're not.
And I believe before we discussed about charging hydro as well for those calls.
Yeah, we're, yes.
So I'm wondering if the township's doing that at this point, because I know for a while we weren't, even though we could.
Mhm.
Well, there's-
But would we charge for that?
Council.
Yeah, like would we charge for that or?
We would.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Might get some more details from a neighboring township that does it. And
Okay.
it is put through a motion of council. So. But I'll put something together.
okay, perfect.
I believe like it's already set to go. I believe it's just like something lost between the fire department and like staff here where like,
Maybe talk to the CAO. If you have a conversation with the CAO.
Yeah. right.
Yeah.
We covered all that, I think, eh? Okay.
Wait, the SCBA equipment?
Oh, great. So we did receive the SCBA equipment donated.
Yeah.
From the Nipissing
Sweet,
Township, which was really awesome. The gear it's in good shape.
okay, go.
We have 14 certified units that are good to go. Till September, then we'll have to start getting them out for recertification, but they are still certified. They are in service at this moment. We've got about 30 masks that they gave us as well, and 10 aluminum bottles, which are all, everything is serviceable. We also got 4 complete backpacks that are not serviceable. They didn't pass their flow tests, but we can use them for parts.
Okay,
And he gave us a bunch of other parts too. So the only catch with this setup is that if these units start failing, there is no repair. He made that very clear that these can't be
yeah,
serviced.
Right.
So, but I think
This is by for now, it's probably
Yeah.
more equipment than what we had.
it's gonna get us by right now for sure. We have some of the serviceable ones as spares. So they're not all long units.
and did we send a thank you letter?
We're drafting up a thank you.
Okay,
And our new ones are on order at this point?
They are not.
Yeah.
okay, when are we doing that? Because there's like a lead time, no?
There is, I'm pretty sure Kelly was gonna talk about that a little bit, but
Mhm.
I don't think we have them by it now. Yes, he is.
Why? We put money aside for that.
2 or 3 years in a row now, we've. put it
Yeah.
aside.
No,
Yes,
we have a reserve we were gonna be using on bunker gear. That's what I understand.
oh, for, yes.
Yeah.
But the SCBA's,
The VAs we were gonna start
correct.
piling more money into it, but
Yeah.
we're looking at probably about with the new standard that's coming out. We're probably gonna be looking at more money, about 150 to 170,000 for the new NFPA.
But the bunker gear has been ordered,
We have 4 suits for this year for that,
ordered.
Yeah.
Okay,
for that money.
So receive update on final CRA. So that's more Allen, and he's not here currently,
Kevin's not here.
so we'll defer that.
well, what we can say though is that you gave a verbal at council, and that council accepted it, and so that it's kind of, it's in its final stages and off to the province now, yeah, so. Right, so we've completed it, we're gonna meet the deadline of July, I mean, I think we can, that's probably all Alan was gonna say.
Then 7B, receive and review update on fire department assessment. So that's a Kelly thing.
Kelly
I
thing.
think we can defer it to the next meeting.
Yeah.
7C, discuss user fees for filling ponds.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys got the email with the drafted policy that I created here, but I got some copies for you.
Did you email this to us?
I did,
You did? When?
Last week, I think, or maybe when the discussion came up about it, I was working on this already with my crew. So we have a liability, so which is the basic general liability, waiving all liability from the township with regard to the water and the water quality. Plus, kind of like a delivery policy as well. So we have the waiver and we have the delivery policy.
Okay.
The fee schedule, as you can see, I just kind of put in a note, we're still playing with that to see what else other neighboring townships are going for. I don't know what water's going for today.
Yeah.
It's not top quality water, right?
Right.
So
So how big is the truck?
we're 2,500 gallons.
2,500.
Okay, so currently, we have a resolution that says that we are not to fill swimming pools.
Correct.
Okay, so, and I think you've told us before that you have been filling swimming pools for donations.
We've done one pool.
Well, you
this
told us,
year.
I'm sure we had a conversation where you said that you've done more than one and that you were getting donations between $30 to $400.
That's not correct.
Did we not have that conversation?
Ponds as well, right?
Ponds as well. It's just lake water, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Except the gentleman that we did fill the one time this year he offered us a donation, we declined it. We said, no, thank you, we just appreciate the exercise. We got to do a fire prevention and
So I don't think that we should be getting into this business. I think that there are companies that fill pools and ponds. And I don't think that because of liability issues, I don't believe that our volunteers should be doing this. I think that there are ways to get training. I don't know if you've spoken to the CAO, but our bridges need washed. So that's a really great way to get the training with the hoses, and everybody benefits in the community. And there's no liability issues.
Right.
So I think that we can, stick to that. Again, if you read the resolution, I think the CAO sent it out. I don't think I got this. I did not get this by email, Dave. I'm sorry, maybe something was wrong with but I don't think I saw this. I'll check again.
So I think it was previous council, right, that
Correct.
stopped doing this because this was offered as a service before. And I'm kind of in the middle. I think that maybe not pools for sure, between filtration and water quality that we can't guarantee, and possibility of messing up liners and that kind of stuff. Ponds, however, I think is probably doable.
But I think that you're still driving over people's property, you've got septics. I think we should just stay away from all of it. I have the resolution here. I think the CAO sent it to all of us, right?
So if we were to look at this, it would have to go to council.
Oh, yeah.
But like I say, my thoughts are with ponds, people know where their subjects are. People know kind of safer the passage to get to the ponds. Can be set up as a training thing. We can do cost recovery. Set it up as a user fee. I don't think there's a whole lot of risk. The only piece that kind of has me a little bit something puzzled is if you have a truck filled and you're on somebody's property and you just emptied it into a pond, and then you get a phone call that we need a truck that's filled, ready to go for a fire.
Right.
So is that response time piece?
We still have a secondary frontline pumper plus a tanker. So generally, the pumper will follow the tanker anywhere it goes. And if that situation arises, I don't see any issue with that, because we're gonna have, if you, well, I'm sorry, you didn't get, I'll check it to make sure you use it, but in the policy, it says that we're only delivering on training nights, so we have the staff that are still in the hall doing things. And the fire truck can respond, the tanker truck is right behind, and we have no issues with water.
Okay.
As well as the waiver that I drafted up, it really eliminates any risk for the fire department and the town to respond to. Whether it's swimming pool, whatever, it lays it all out quite nicely.
Do we know if other fire departments do this?
Our neighboring towns, I know for a fact, our neighboring town, Calvin does this. And they use the money to go into their fire department reserve fund. That would be, for us, that would help you guys put money into our SCBA fund.
Yeah, I mean. This is probably almost cost recovery, like. Somebody shows up to fill up a pond and we're charging at the most $150. For paying. Our firefighters. Per diems or however.
That's just, it goes on regular points, like I said, it doesn't, we don't do it outside of
Oh,
a
it's
training.
on a
night.
training, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, like I say, I would support it at this point in time without, reports from staff and history and, anything from lawyers and stuff like that. I would support it in theory, but not for pools, just for ponds. So I guess there's three of us. So I guess we vote to put it together, to put it to council?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it can go to council. I was just letting you know that I don't know that I support this.
June 7th.
June 7th?
So let's get, I guess, these. I guess the first step would be these to go to CAO. And CAO can send these to legal.
You also got it.
Thank you.
So, yeah, so I think full documents to CAO, to legal, to report back to council.
Okay, if you want to make like a recommendation or anything, there's. Other page, that's fine,
On the back of these.
of the. big record. Okay.
So moved by Dave, second by Steve, that both water delivery policies are sent to CAO, staff and legal. To produce a report for council on the feasibility of water delivery service for ponds excluding pools. Yep. On favor? Okay. Right. So 7.7D. Fireworks for community events. So I'm not sure where the miscommunication went, but when we had to defer fireworks last year on Canada Day to Labor Day is because of the fire. We ran that event on Labor Day. It was super successful. A lot of people really liked that event, so we kept it as a rec committee. And as the township kept that event for our year-end summer works, shortening Canada Day, so that people could come enjoy Canada Day here and still go to other municipalities or to North Bay for fireworks that night. So the goal currently for the rec committee is to event fireworks always on the Labor Day. So there was some miscommunication. Now that's kind of straightened up a little bit. We're not sure if you guys have enough guys. I don't think you do. By the sounds of things for this year, and that's on kind of both of us with not involving you guys, I guess, in that communication piece. I thought you guys were aware because that was given last October, I believe, when we said that we're gonna run that event again. So currently, the rec department is just looking at other municipalities that can help out to make sure that we can still set off fireworks on the Labor Day weekend. But in future years, that's currently how things are going. Shorter Canada Day, like a 11 to 5 type thing, and fireworks on the Labor Day.
So there's no one from our fire department that's available?
Last, I talked to them on last Monday and I had a couple guys that would be interested if there was more, but they also didn't have their fireworks display assistant certificate.
So do they have the course and now they're just missing the hours?
No, once you get the course, you're a display assistant, meaning you can assist me in lighting up the fireworks. They have to have 4 shows under their belt before they can apply to be a supervisor. Once you're a supervisor, then you can do what I do and light them off, supervise the show, sign the permit, and buy the fireworks.
So has anybody got any hours to kind of build up?
I've got one guy that needs one more show.
And have we reached out to other people for Canada Day? Did we have?
Yeah.
And other guys even to get their first show in and stuff, like, is there any sort of development with that?
It's, no, not really. There's gonna be up to the guys to reach out if they want their show, to reach out to anybody. There is companies that do it professionally, that's all they do, they travel around Ontario and.
But we have an opportunity for them to do a show now, right, in Bonneville, so. We could let them know, right?
In Canada Day, I believe there's 2 or 3. Like all pretty local.
Yeah,
And I know other communities have sent their guys to like further away because there's fireworks on different weekends somewhere.
Mhm.
So if this is a goal to get these guys kind of caught up in that training, obviously this takes a backseat to a lot of the more important training.
Well, I don't know. I don't think-
The availability, but the availability for that is there, right?
So we have 4 individuals who are just waiting for hours.
well, I have one fellow that needs one more show. It's not an hours base, it's on how many shows.
shit, right.
So in theory,
But we have 4 that are ready for shows.
Yeah.
Okay,
so in theory, if that individual is available
Yeah.
on Canada Day in North Bay or
Yeah.
or wherever else.
yes,
They would
yes,
have their hours done for Labor Day.
and can deliver.
He's looking into a show possibly happening. In Bonneville.
So.
There are options, they gotta do the legwork and reach out if they want to get their show.
So we're leaving that up to them.
Yes.
And they're aware of
They're aware.
the structure and who they can reach out
Yeah.
to and.
It's
Can you send us a list of who they are?
Sure.
Thank you.
Cause yeah, and obviously, like I said, this is pretty low priority compared to all the other training that's very valuable, but I think this would be a fun one for the guys and if there's options available, like. At the end of the day, I think there's 3 communities all within half-hour drive of the building fireworks.
Yeah.
There's another day this summer, I forget what it is, another holiday that, some townships do fireworks. Gridfest does fireworks in North Bay.
Yeah.
They do a huge fireworks display, so like I think. If we were proactive on this,
Yeah,
you could get a lot of guys caught up probably by Labor Day if we wanted to.
Hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Mobile live fire training units.
Yeah, just wanted to touch on it, just to give you guys a little background on what's gonna be happening for it and how it's going to be a great opportunity. For a lot of the new guys and a little refresher for some of the guys that have been around a little bit longer. So the goals that these guys are gonna be expected to do on Wednesday is they're gonna be establishing an incident command and coordinate an interior attack. They're going to do an attack on the interior structure from the ground level using a direct or indirect combination attack. They're going to be doing a fire attack from above, and then they're going to be doing one from below as well. Performing a hydraulic ventilation and then a positive pressure ventilation on the unit. Conduct a primary and secondary search, do a mayday or a man down, so a rescue for one of our own. So that includes following a hose line and understanding the smoke and the heat and whatnot. And then they have a forcible entry, which is an exercise for an inward and an outward swinging door. This is an exercise that they have to complete to be able to get their level 1 certificate as well. It's going to be really good. We're really lucky that they offered it to us.
Is there gonna be an aerial truck there then to do?
It's just be our bumper, our tools. So we're gonna be using it with our stuff.
Mm.
The trucks, our trucks won't be out of water. Our trucks will always be full of water because we're gonna be dropping from a hydrant. Which is another evolution that we don't really get the luxury of. So these guys get to see what a hydrant is and be able to knock that off.
And where is it?
It's at Pete Bellagio Arena. So we're about 30 kilometers away from the town, but everybody's gonna be fully staffed and armed and ready to go.
Yeah, if you're ready, the response time is probably,
So
so.
it's gonna be the same, right?
That's exciting.
It is very exciting. It's gonna boost the guy's confidence. It's gonna boost like some.
Is this the first time that this training has been offered? Or-
Yeah. And that's the trailer, I think it was slotted come last year and it got stuck in Moosonee. So we're stuck up there for a long time.
And is there gonna be like a whole bunch of other municipalities?
Right now, it's gonna be, we have our municipality calendar, North Bay. That's right, and it's here for 3 days.
Do you guys have time, remember some photos for?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then training budget and training dummy.
Yes, I just wanted to, I know the decision's been made and whatnot, but this is something that I know Donna's, you spoke upon this quite well, like, so that training dummy was ordered in October, delivered January 2024,
and no liability set up.
yes. Like, I was hoping that we could maybe move that off the training budget, considering I'm now over budget, I can't spend on my training.
Yeah, so like budgeting rules, unless you set up the liability
Right.
for the year that it was purchased, so goods and services must be received in the year of the budget. So if it wasn't received in 2023, it is a 2024 expense, unfortunately.
Nothing we can do to
Nothing,
move it off.
no,
I'm capping my training for.
no, again, if you had received something in 2023 and you were waiting for invoicing, you would set up a liability in 2023 to charge it, and 2024 to charge it to 2023. But if you didn't receive it, it goes in the year that it is received. There's those are accounting rules. We cannot get around that.
Very unfortunate.
It is. I've been caught once and then never again with that.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I've heard, and I haven't dug into this, that we're over budget. That's for this year,
Correct.
and that's because of training.
Because of the training dummy that, at the time when I put the order in under the training budget, I was just trying to spend the money where the money was.
Yeah.
This, normally I would have put this under like small equipment or anything, wouldn't have taken $5,000 out of our training budget.
So do you have money in small equipment?
As of this year, I would,
So what you need to do is go back and look at your budget, look at the bottom line, see what the variances are in the budget. And, you know, again, if you work with the CAO, work with Nikki, she will be able to show you in the budget if you actually have wiggle room anywhere, right? So, you know, ideally you want to expend in the budget line that was budgeted, but sometimes if it's unallocated, there's instances where you can use other funds. So again, my recommendation would be reach out. She might be able to help you, see where there are, underspending, where there's underspending.
Now, like we've been involved about a year and a half, and we were asking about training every month, and nothing was getting booked for training. Then there was a while where we didn't think that we had any money because we thought the reserves got used elsewhere, but we had training money in reserves. So for a year and a half, I've been involved, and now we're just getting people trained now like crazy. Do we not still just have money in reserves for training?
No,
Like
that
that?
money is now for bunker gear, but that's what the budget meeting.
So I thought when we had reserves, I thought it was specific to equipment, training,
was-
this, that.
The fire reserve, right?
So it's just fire in general, wasn't training
No,
and
but
equipment.
there is a training budget for this year,
Correct.
right? Which is what but that's what you're saying is
So
that
try to-
because of,
Slide that money to,
yeah.
but if you're saying there's concessions and I can take money from anywhere. then I can say-
Well, not necessarily, right? Not necessarily. Again, you have to go and see what the allocation rules are, right? So, and again, if you work with the CAO, yeah,
So,
the bad part is that something from 2023 has to be charged to 2024. That's what's killing us.
wait, so our reserves, so in 2022, we had money for equipment and money for training. Neither got spent, went to reserves, but it didn't go to training and equipment, it just went to general reserve.
It went to just the fire reserve. That's my understanding, is that it
For
went
now.
to,
Because then it again happened
Yes.
in 2023.
Yeah.
And then here we are at 2024.
yeah.
So in my mind, there's lots of money for training. But obviously, we needed equipment and stuff too.
Well, there were safety issues, right? And so that kind of trumps, health and safety trumps everything. So, and I think that that's what the chief was, he had mentioned, you know, going through the assessment, and then there were two things that came up that were safety related. And so I think that was more, but there was money put in for training, and so the dummy has wiped it all.
After our wetland articles.
But again, reach out, see, yeah. Well, we cannot, there's no way we can charge it back to 2023. Also, we just closed the books. So even if, you know, there was some possibility, now the financials are done, so there's no way you can even, yeah. There's no way. But now we know, right? So this year, we want to make sure that we are spending in year, receiving the goods or service in year, or a facsimile thereof, right? So that we, you know, if we, again, we can order things and receive them, and if they're not right, or we can set up liabilities to charge to the previous year.
So that seems like it's maybe book a quick meeting with the CAO.
Well,
And see if she can figure out anything, because obviously I'd hate to miss out on opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
So especially when for a few years now, yourself have been pushing to get your guys trained. We've been pushing to get them trained. So hopefully she can clean that up a little bit.
Yeah, well, and I don't, so I think with the emails, you're gonna get her the training plan, right? To make sure that that's everyone's on the same page for going forward and the training plan and.
So resolutions to be considered for council recommendation. So just the one, guys. The water delivery. And no correspondence. session. So moved by Dave and second by Donna that the meeting be adjourned at 6:36 P.M. All in favor?
Yep.
All right, well, thanks, guys.